Well, it's interesting to me, Dean, you had had a career in theoretical physics, and many theoretical physicists, such as yourself, have studied the Sanskrit tradition. Many of the great physicists have made a point of it.
Yes, physicists like the Sanskrit tradition because the cosmologies that were written down, how the universe came about, apply pretty much today.
For centuries, science has searched for the secrets of time, space, and the universe itself. But what if those secrets were already discovered thousands of years ago? What if the knowledge we call modern was written in ancient texts, hidden in myths that were never just myths? A king who traveled to the heavens, only to return and find his world lost to time. A warrior who uncovered the truth of infinite realities. Stories that seem impossible until science begins to confirm them. Could it be that the past holds the key to our future? That the greatest discoveries aren't ahead of us, but buried in the wisdom of an ancient civilization? It's time to take a closer look, because what we once called legend may have been truth all along. The universe has always held its secrets close, whispering them only to those who dare to listen. Across history, civilizations have tried to unravel its mysteries, some through mathematics and science, others through philosophy and faith. But what if an ancient civilization had already grasped truths that modern science is only now beginning to understand? Hinduism, one of the world's oldest and most enduring traditions, carries within its sacred texts astonishing descriptions of time, space, and the cosmos. For centuries, these stories were seen as mythology, vivid allegories meant to inspire, not to explain. Yet, as scientific discoveries unfold, they reveal a startling truth. Concepts like time dilation, parallel universes, and the cyclical nature of existence were not just poetic musings. They were insights, fragments of an advanced understanding of reality, recorded long before modern physics had the words to define them. This is not a tale of mere coincidence. It is the story of knowledge preserved through millennia, waiting to be recognized. It is the realization that the vastness of the universe, the mysteries of time, and the fabric of reality itself may have been glimpsed by minds long before ours. And now, finally, scientists are beginning to accept it. There was once a king, wise, noble, and devoted to his people. His name was Kakudmi, and he had a daughter, Revdi, whose beauty and virtue were unmatched. But for a father who wanted only the best for his child, no suitor on earth seemed worthy. Determined to seek the guidance of the greatest power, Kakudmi and Revdi left their kingdom and journeyed to Brahmaloka, the celestial realm of Lord Brahma, the creator himself. In Brahmaloka, time flowed with a different rhythm. As they waited patiently for an audience with Brahma, only a few moments seemed to pass. But when the great deity finally turned to them, his words carried a truth more shocking than anything the king had ever known. He laughed. "Oh, Kakudmi, the men you sought for your daughter, kings, warriors, sages, they are long gone. Many generations have passed. The world you left behind has changed beyond recognition." Kakudmi's heart pounded. How could this be? He had only just arrived. But Brahma's voice was steady. Time in his realm was not like time on earth. What had seemed like minutes in Brahmaloka had been thousands of years below. When they returned, the kingdom Kakudmi once ruled was nothing more than ruins. The cities, the people, the very fabric of the world had moved forward without them. The past was unreachable. The future had already arrived. Eventually, Revdi found her place in this new era, marrying Balrama, the brother of Lord Krishna. But the truth remained. Time had not been what they believed it to be. It had stretched and bent, slipping through their grasp like water through open hands. Centuries later, science would give this phenomenon a name: time dilation. Einstein's theory of relativity would prove that time moves differently depending on speed and gravity. But long before equations and experiments, there was the story of Kakudmi and Revdi, a warning, a revelation, a glimpse into the universe's greatest secret. Time is not absolute. A great king, a divine warrior, a devoted servant. The legend of Rama and Hanuman is etched into the very soul of time itself. But among their many tales, one holds a secret so profound that even the sharpest minds of today are only beginning to grasp its meaning. Rama, the incarnation of Vishnu, knew his time on earth was ending. As his mortal form prepared to depart, he did something unusual, something seemingly insignificant. He slipped his ring from his finger and let it fall to the ground. The small golden band tumbled into a crack, vanishing into the depths below. Hanuman, ever loyal, watched in concern. "My lord, your ring," he called. But Rama only smiled. "Go find it," he said. And so Hanuman, the mighty Vanara, the one who could leap across oceans, the one whose strength defied gods and demons alike, descended into the earth, following the path of the fallen ring. Deeper and deeper he went, past layers of rock and soil, past things no mortal eyes had ever seen, until he arrived in a place unlike any other, Nagaloka, the realm of the serpent beings. There, he met Vasuki, the great serpent king, who greeted him with knowing eyes. "You seek Rama's ring," Vasuki said. Hanuman nodded. The serpent king gestured to a vast mountain in the heart of Nagaloka, and there, piled higher than the eye could see, was not one ring, but countless rings. Identical in every way, more than Hanuman could ever count. Stunned, he turned back to Vasuki. "Which one is his?" And Vasuki only smiled. "Every time a Rama departs from his world, his ring falls here. And every time, a Hanuman comes searching for it. This has happened before. It will happen again. It will happen forever." The weight of those words settled in Hanuman's heart. This was not just a single event, not just his story. There were others, other Ramayanas, other worlds, other versions of everything he knew. The cycle was endless, the realities infinite. Centuries later, physicists would speak of parallel universes, of infinite possibilities, of the multiverse where countless versions of reality exist side by side. But long before the language of science could explain it, there was the story of Hanuman and the rings, whispering the truth that reality is far greater, far stranger than we ever believed. For centuries, the world has looked at ancient myths as nothing more than stories, beautiful, poetic, but ultimately fiction. Yet, as modern science pushes deeper into the mysteries of the universe, something unexpected is happening. The old stories are starting to sound less like myths and more like knowledge lost to time. The Hindu scriptures, written thousands of years ago, speak of cosmic cycles spanning billions of years, epics of creation and destruction that mirror the modern understanding of the universe's birth and rebirth. They describe vast realms of existence, higher dimensions, and celestial bodies governed by forces that eerily resemble the principles of quantum physics. They speak of time flowing differently in different realms, a concept now understood as time dilation in Einstein's relativity. For the skeptics, these are coincidences. But are they? Across ancient India, sages and philosophers spent lifetimes in deep meditation, searching not just for spiritual enlightenment, but for a true understanding of existence itself. Their insights, written in the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Puranas, describe a universe that expands and contracts, a reality that is layered and interconnected, a cosmos where time and space bend in ways science is only beginning to confirm. How did they know? Were they visionaries with minds so advanced they grasped these concepts intuitively? Were their descriptions the result of philosophical genius, reaching beyond the material world to uncover deeper truths? Or, perhaps, was there once a knowledge, an understanding of the universe so profound that it was lost somewhere in the passage of time? Today, physicists study the nature of reality, the structure of time, and the possibility of multiple universes. But these are not new questions. They are echoes of inquiries made long ago by minds that left behind not just myths, but clues, pieces of a grand puzzle that we are only now beginning to piece together. The greatest discoveries may not lie ahead of us, but behind us, waiting to be rediscovered. For as long as humans have looked to the stars, we have searched for answers. Who are we? Where did we come from? What is the nature of this vast, unfolding universe? Science and spirituality have often walked separate paths in pursuit of these questions. But what if those paths are not as different as they seem? The ancient Hindu texts tell stories that mirror the deepest revelations of modern physics. Time that bends and stretches, universes that exist in endless variations, a cosmos governed by cycles, not linear progression. These ideas, once dismissed as myth, now find echoes in the language of relativity, quantum mechanics, and cosmology. Is this merely coincidence? Or is there a deeper connection, a thread of knowledge that has always been there, waiting to be understood? Perhaps the greatest mistake is assuming that wisdom only moves forward, that what is old must be outdated, that what is ancient has nothing left to teach us. But time is not a straight line. It moves in patterns, in cycles, in ways that defy our limited understanding. And sometimes, the answers we seek are not ahead of us, but behind, written in the stories of those who came before. The future of science may not be about discovering something entirely new. It may be about recognizing something we have always known.